Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one city wants to address its panhandling problems as it begins to meet over possible solutions. And officials want folks to prepare for the upcoming LIHEAP funding that becomes available next week.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I am Amelia Lee. It's October 30th at 6 o'clock. It's also time to check in with meteorologist Drake Foley for a look at your forecast this morning. And Drake, we've been talking about these above average temperatures we'll go with, and I think the two of us feel the same way, that we're ready for fall. I'm ready for Christmas even, but I might be jumping the gun a little bit with that one.
Yeah, we're still waiting one more day until you can start celebrating Christmas, although I think Thanksgiving doesn't get its due like it should. Although, maybe that comment, that kind of explains a little bit, but love me some mashed potatoes, especially during Thanksgiving, but we're not there just yet. Looking at our cam from Hazard right now, you can't really see anything. It's that foggy outside. And looking at conditions on our first alert weather app, we're looking at 52 degrees. And then it's actually pretty humid outside, which explains how dense the fog is. And then as you go out the door this morning, temperatures going to be pretty cool. We're going to still be sitting in those mid to upper 50s. And then as soon as we get into around the time heading home, it's going to be 79. So you'll go from seat warmers to full blast AC as you head out. And then remember, we are going back 1 hour as we go to Sunday. So make sure on Saturday night into Sunday morning, set that clock back 1 hour. Amelia?
All right, thank you, Drake, especially for those reminders about turning our clocks back. I forget every year. Well, Election Day, it's less than 1 week away, but early in-person voting in Kentucky starts tomorrow. That is October 31st. Mail-in absentee ballots must be received by 6 p.m. on Election Day. That's November 5th, to be counted. If you are registered to vote, you can find election guides, polling locations, and sample ballots at govote.ky.gov. The early voting period for West Virginia runs through Saturday. If you are in Mingo County, you can go to the courthouse between 9 to 5 every day until Saturday. If you're heading over to Logan County, you can go to the Commission Building from 8:30 to 4:30 now until Friday, and 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Saturday. And for those of you in Wayne County, you can cast that ballot at the courthouse from 8 to 4 today and Friday, 8 to 6 on Thursday, and 9 to 5 on Saturday. Now we'll continue to take a look at some local races, and here is what we're keeping an eye on. In the race for 84th District State Representative incumbent, Republican Chris Fugate will square off against Democrat Zach Hall. That district includes Breathitt, Owsley, and Perry counties. And in the 95th District, Republican Brandon Spencer will take on incumbent Ashley Tackett Lafferty. That district consists of Pike and Floyd counties. Meanwhile, the Pineville Mayor, Scott Madden, was endorsed yesterday by the family of the late State Senator Johnny Turner. In a statement, the family said Madden would champion the conservative Republican values that Johnny held dear. Turner's death last week led to this historic campaign. 11 people filed to run as write-in candidates. The Kentucky Senate Democratic Caucus has announced it is endorsing Justin Noble for the 29th District seat write-in campaign. In a statement from the Kentucky Senate Democratic Caucus Campaign Committee, it says leaders recognize Noble's dedication to the well-being of Eastern Kentucky families and a vision for a stronger, safer community. Noble also received endorsements from Governor Andy Beshear, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman, and Senior Advisor Rocky Adkins. A southern Kentucky city is set to vote on an ordinance they say could curb some practices of panhandlers. City leaders in Somerset say they have received a lot of complaints from people about panhandlers approaching cars and being quite aggressive in attempts to seek money from drivers. The calls led the city council to host the first reading of an ordinance to make crossing major roads illegal unless it's in a crosswalk. Pedestrians could also not approach cars.
Certain people that have been out asking for money, they approach vehicles out in the roadway, knocking on windows and That kind of can be alarming, especially if you're sitting there at an intersection, there's nowhere to go. And even if it is a cordial exchange and they want to give money, even that can slow down traffic, block a light cycle, and cause quite a bit of traffic congestion.
City leaders say it's not illegal to ask for money, and they are abiding by First Amendment rights. If passed, the first offense could result in a $200 penalty. A spokesperson for a local homeless organization says there needs to be ways to raise money without negatively impacting public safety. State officials have chosen companies to cultivate and process medical cannabis through a lottery. Kentucky NORML believes the rollout is going well. Executive Director Matthew Bratcher says there are no current concerns for patients. Out-of-state companies are applying for licenses, bringing valuable experience. However, Bratcher is worried about the influence of big business in the industry.
I think the biggest real concern is, trying these companies pressuring to purchase other licenses that they may not have. I think there's something in place to kind of like keep that from happening, from, a monopoly being formed.
Bratcher believes it will take time to get medical cannabis dispensaries up and running. He thinks we'll likely see sales begin closer to March rather than the projected start date of January 1st. Other than Election Day on November 5th next week, applications for the LIHEAP Fall Subsidy will open as officials urge folks to prepare in advance. The program gives folks at 150% below the poverty line assistance with their electricity bill. Albert Smith with LKLP says more than 4,000 people within the 4 counties they serve sign up every year. He encourages anyone who believes they might be eligible to apply.
You have to have your Social Security card, you have to have your previous month's income, and then you need your electric bill as well. If you're signing up for something other than an electric bill, you can use like your water bill. It has to be a metered bill for us to be able to use it.
Smith says to contact your local community action agency to schedule an appointment or ask any questions. To find an office near you, look for this story on our website, WYMT.com. Trick-or-treating came early for students in Magoffin County as the Halloween events kicked off in Salyersville. The city park was full of tables, tricks and treats as Magoffin County schools partnered with the city to bring students out for an afternoon of costumes and candy. County Judge Executive Matthew Wireman says the event offers an opportunity for every elementary school student in the county to be a part of the Halloween fun.
It's probably one of our most attended day events that we have every year, and we're just so happy that we can do this, and the weather's absolutely great, and it's been a great thing every year, and it seems to grow and grow and grow.
And for everyone excited to go trick-or-treating, here are some of those dates and times in the viewing area. Hazard, Perry County, Pike County, Pikeville, and Martin County are trick-or-treating from 6 to 8 on Halloween.
Even though there's supposed to only be 4 seasons, it feels like there might be at least 20, especially because right now it just feels like summer again, especially late summer. We were actually cooler in parts of August than we are now. Temperatures on Halloween, the warmest 72 degrees. We're probably going to break that tomorrow. And then coldest 7 degrees. We're not going to get anywhere near there. We are going to see some rain, but it will be nowhere near the rainiest, which it's actually funny because the warmest and the rainiest were both on the same day. And now we're going to be warm and rainy again tomorrow. 77 degrees is our forecasted high for tomorrow. That will break the record. And as we head out throughout the rest of the week, we'll see those mid-60s and then back to the mid-70s before another cool down next Wednesday. Amelia?
Thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. We've got more news on the way. When we return, the White House isn't all that's up for grabs this election, but the presidential race is impacting the control of Congress.